Hey guys, today we're here to talk about Revenant Horror T5 and how you should prepare yourself in an effort to beat them. So if you happen to enjoy the video, maybe think about leaving a like and subscribing to help support the channel. You guys have been great with support lately and I really do appreciate it. So how can you start preparing for this new update, which should be coming in probably 1 to 3 weeks? So the best way to look at it is start out looking at the current drops available to us. So right now, Revenant T4 drops Scytheblade and Beheaded Horror, which you can use these items to craft the Reaper Scythe and the Reaper Mask. So how good are these items? Well, they have reworked the Reaper Scythe, and against a mob that is not a dungeonized mob, the summon mobs may be of use, but I don't think they will be enough to help contribute in this fight. But again, that's something we have to wait and see. Revenant Horror T4s have 1.5 mil HP, and as it stands right now, an endgame player can 3-hit them. So the T5 mob should, if it follows the right trend line, have 5 mil HP, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. But knowing how they like to make mini bosses, they'll make it shred all your defense. It'll basically put you in a state like you have Tuxedo on probably, or something like that, something silly, and then just get one tap by the mob. Again, we'll have to wait and see. But the other item is the Reaper Mask, which does have an interesting ability where you get double healing, and it does give you extra souls on your summoning weapons, but as I've already said, they are not that strong. Now if you can get Slayer mobs like Revenant Horror T5 as a summonable, that might be pretty good. But again, it doesn't seem like their special effects proc. I think the Frozen Blaze mini boss did if you had it as a summon, but I'm not sure if they took it out because they seem to have taken out all the good summons. So hopefully with the addition of T5, they buff the necromancy system, because on release it was interesting. It was very hard to get the good summons, but now it's just completely worthless. So besides that, there is the Revenant Armor, and as it stands right now, I'm not sure if this is going to be needed or not, because the content is questionable on how hard it will be. As I've already said, the mob should probably have about, about like 4, 5, 6 mil health, with a certain special ability that'll make it very hard for the player to defeat. So while we are getting used to, the new power level, I guess you could say, because don't remember Slayer way back when they first came out, even a Revenant Horror T4 took a group of players to kill. Now once you were finally able to pick up the Reaper Vulsion, this thing made Revenants a joke. You literally just need this weapon and you will cut through them all like butter. Now I can see this is going to be the key to defeating T5. This will make it significantly easier, so maybe they might even nerf this, because it is a very powerful weapon. It was dealing some of the highest DPS, although they did add the new Sword of Relations, which is literally a complete copy of this sword with some downsides, since they realized, wow, Reaper Falchion's so good, let's not make a new sword that does the exact same thing and punish the player. So there is the possibility they nerf this sword when they release T5, make T5 more of a challenge for the players, because a challenge is nice, but I think it would be a little like a swift, leg sweep if they decide to add, hey, you take increased damage, but you already take less damage on it, so maybe they'll just take the damage reduction away from it. Again, it's something I have to wait and see. But this is literally the key to handling the new content. I don't imagine we get a new version of this. If we do, that would be great. Go to all 3 of the Slayer swords. It's definitely the top tier one. Pooch is kind of weird. Again, just a little side comment for people actually listening to the commentary. I really would have liked them to add new wolf and new spider tiers. Maybe this is a sign that they are coming eventually, but again, I still feel we are a while away from that. But who knows? With the community projects, these ones finishing probably in less than a week, being 100%, maybe we'll get some new Slayers besides Zombie. So besides these 3 items, these 3 zombie specific items, is there anything else you can pick up that will make you have an easier time. Well, I haven't really tried it, but maybe ice spray might work. It probably doesn't work, knowing how it is. But I think those 3 items are definitely something to look at. Reaper chest or Revenant set is pretty affordable, I'd say. That's like, you know, they get a zombie chest plate. And once you get it stacked up, you know, 10,000, like 100,000 kills on it, it is pretty good. It is pretty solid of an armor to use, defensive wise. I can totally see players rocking this the first few days if we are somehow not able to defeat it in superior repulsion. That is my main thinking, is will the repulsion have the power alone to defeat it? Because way back when Slayer first came out, we didn't have pets. There's a bunch of new DPS enchants. There's ultimate enchants even now. So how are they going to go forward with scaling the new Slayer bosses? It's mainly pets that changes the dynamic, but having, you know, the ultimate enchants, level 7 enchants now, smite 7, sharp 7, it really does increase the player's damage significantly. So the numbers I suggested before might be really low for a T5 boss. It will probably fall in power levels somewhere with the mythological creatures, between the Inquisitor and the Minos champion. So somewhere between there, I assume, will be its power level. But again, with the repulsion, it will make it a total joke. So I guess it's just a waiting game. I can sit and speculate on it, but who really knows? And besides that, beyond preparing, what do I think will drop from these bosses? Or boss, I guess. I am, as I mentioned before, I'm praying for an upgrade to the Reaper Scythe. Maybe some new, you know, an upgraded talisman as well, like the next version of the zombie artifact or whatever. That would be nice. 1 or 2 unique items will be very cool. Hopefully they introduce the pity system for T5. Please, please, please introduce the pity system, because we need this really bad. People go hundreds, thousands of kills still getting a drop. And if they introduce some really cool stuff, people would love to have it guaranteed after maybe 1,000, 2,000 kills, because that's not too long. Depending on, you know, how crowded lobbies are, stuff like that, you can probably crank out, you know, 30, 40 kills an hour maybe. Again, depending on how difficult the boss is. So having, you know, something to look forward to after 1,000 kills, 2,000 kills would be very nice and actually rewarding for the player, because at that point, you know, by the time you defeated 2,000 of these mobs, I think you've seen enough of the content and deserve to be done with it. So those are just my thoughts on it. Again, if you guys have any idea about like other items you could use to probably defeat this new mob, definitely suggest them. I'm definitely just kind of sticking to the whole, you know, yes, these are all items we already used, and you want to look at them if you want to, you know, have an easier time going about it. So I'll probably just run, you know, standard setup. Again, I didn't talk about stuff like overflux, which will help you massively, mind you. But if you're looking for cost efficiency, repulsion, and maybe get yourself like a mana flux, overflux, whatever is, you know, cheapest for you. And if you don't have superior or good DPS armor, maybe think of picking up a Revenant chestplate with some good amount of kills on it, so you have plenty of defense, and then Reaper Mask or some other good helmet to help keep you alive. So thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you next time. If you guys enjoyed, remember to subscribe. Take care, guys. Bye.